Hello, everyone. Welcome to our June Training Tuesday for OU Campus. Today's topic is using social media within OU Campus. During the presentation, all participants will be in a listen-only mode as this session is being recorded. If you have any questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A function found at the bottom of your screen. We will attempt to address your questions throughout the presentation, but if there are any remaining questions we can't answer during the webcast, we will provide an answer via email. Your presenter today is Billy Woody, software trainer. Billy, it's all yours.
Hello, everybody, and good morning. Let me get my screen shared with you folks here. All right. Again, as Barbara mentioned, my name is Billy Woody. I am one of the software trainers here at Omni Update. Today, we are going to be going over social media within OU Campus. Our agenda today, we are going to focus on the different types of OU media that are in OU Campus that you can use, linking to those social media accounts, sending out notifications to those social media accounts when you publish pages, building pages, including social media, and then how to build some social media assets and components. And then lastly, we'll touch on using social media with emergency alerts. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the samples here. So here's just a sample page that I have in my Sandbox site that has a sort of a Facebook and YouTube feed that fills the page. Underneath that, I've got a Twitter feed that is also filling the page, and I'll show you how we're going to go through and build those as well. Also, on my Facebook page, in this particular page, you see here that it is showing posts when pages are published, with the notes that go along with those posts as well. No, I do not want to log in. Thank you very much. And here, same as with the Twitter account, when pages are published, I am getting notifications here on those pages being published. And so what we're going to do is go through how all of that is done here within OU Campus. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the Sandbox itself. All right, so over into here, the first thing you're going to want to do to be able to publish out those posts to Facebook, you need to actually have not just a Facebook page, but you need to have, or not an account, but you need to have a separate Facebook page within that account. That's what these notifications will get pushed out to. So I do want to go through how that is created within Facebook, with the caveat that these things may change because, of course, we are not associated with Facebook, but I at least want to take you through the process as to how this works so that way we can see how that it is connected within OU Campus. So to create your own page within your Facebook account, you'll just log into your Facebook account, and then underneath the little triangle symbol here at the right-hand side, you'll go to Manage Pages. Within here, you would click on the Create a Page icon. And you're going to start out with just a business or brand page. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a name. We're going to call this TT for Training Tuesday. And we'll just call this Billy's Page. And then we'll select a category here and we'll just do education as such, and then we'll continue. All right, so it's just going to prompt us for a couple questions here. I'm just going to skip these. These are just to add photos to the avatar and for the cover, and don't want to add any online booking. These are all things I'm not going to really need to worry about for now. So now I've created my page. It's called the TT Training Tuesday Billy's Page. It's here and it's ready for use. Now the idea behind this particular page is that this is a non-public consumption page. This is basically designed for internal use only, maybe with for your administrators, your content editors, anybody else associated with getting your site up and going and continuing to edit that site. This is so that they can get notifications of things happening as they happen. With the emergency alerts, as we get to that, that will publish out to a page as well, but that would be a page you'd want to have being public facing. So that way those who want to be able to get those warnings and alerts can get them as well. Now that we have our page created, we do want to go back over to our OU Campus, and we want to go ahead and link that Facebook page to our OU Campus. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the Setup menu here, and we'll go to Accounts. And down at the bottom here, you do see Facebook listed. Now you do need to be a level 10 user to be able to make these edits. So if you're not a level 10 and you do want to make sure to have this as part of your setup, discuss this with your level 10 administrator so we can get this set up. As you can see now, I currently have this OU Campus editor page already associated. I want to go ahead and add in another one. So you just click on New. If you are already logged in, as I am here as our OmniTrain account, you can just continue on forward with your account as logged in. If you're not logged in, it will prompt you to log in or log into a different account if you need to by clicking on this. Since we are already into our OmniTraining account, we'll click on this as such. And then it brings up all the pages that I have created that are now available to me. So I would come in and I would select all the pages I needed. So say, for example, I want to bring in that TT page that I have, maybe my Training OU Campus page as well. And then I give each one a description. So I'll close my Training Tuesday page, and this is going to be just my training page. Then I can decide who has access to be able to publish out to these pages. I can do whatever group I want. So for example, if a department wants to have their own page that only their own members of their department group can publish to, you can then select that group as the particular owner of that page so nobody else can publish out to that particular page. I'm going to leave this as just a level 10 administrator for now to keep it simple, and we'll save that out. So now you see I have 3 Facebook pages that are available for me to publish to whenever I need to do that. Next thing I want to do is to set up then the Twitter page. It's done basically the same way. We just click on the Twitter option down here in the setup menu. As you can see, I already have my Twitter page selected here to be associated with the account. If I wanted to add an additional Twitter account, you just click on New and you go log onto your account here and you just authorize the app. It's that simple. There's no other settings you need to do here. You're just going to log into your particular account and select Authorize App, and then it adds it onto the account for you. And the same thing, you're going to have the ability to edit the name of the account that you want here, and then who has access to that account as well. And you can also enable or disable from here. So if you do have several accounts, you just want to disable it without having to go back later to reattach it, you can just click on the box and unenable it so that way it's not able to be used at the moment. We'll cancel out of this because we're going to keep our settings as they are. The last of the social media links that you can do within OU Campus is to link up your YouTube account. So by clicking on YouTube, this brings us into a very similar looking window. We're going to click on New. And then here it's going to prompt you for the account you have logged in. So I've got my personal account, which we'll skip. We'll go right to our Omni Update training account. This will bring us into here. And then this gives us all the different basically channels that we have within OU Campus that we can use. So I'm going to use the Omni Update Training Department channel. Again, it's going to give me this little blurbage here that I can go through and read and say, yes, I'm going to allow that account to have OU Campus access it. Again, here we go. There's our naming, training, YouTube channel. And again, the availability to whoever you want it to do. So again, if each department may have their own YouTube channel, they can lock down their YouTube channel, link to just whoever their department is, and save that as well. Okay, so now we've gone through the basic process of attaching all of the accounts to OU Campus. Another setting that we want to set while we are here inside of the setup menu is to go to accounts and go to publish settings. Since we do have a Facebook page and a Twitter page associated with this to publish to, this option of default tweet and wall post is available here as well. What this will do is when you publish out a page and you select for it to publish out to your social media, if you don't add in a customized message at that point, it will use this default tweet or wall post when it goes to publish out that notification. So if you want to change this now, so that way it's consistently has the same message to start out with, you can do that now and just save it, and it'll be shown when you actually go to publish your page, which I'll show you in just a moment here. So we'll leave that as it is for now, and we'll go ahead and cancel that. That's okay. We can do that. All right, so the next thing we want to do is go back over to my pages and go to my Training Tuesday section that I have here. for our social media and onto that index page that we were looking at before. So here are all the items that are on this page. I want to go ahead and publish this page out. And when I go to publish this page, you now see an additional tab you may not have seen before on your setup. So you have a social media tab. So in here, I can now select the Twitter accounts I want to send this out to. And so all the Twitter accounts that are on my OU Campus account that I have access to will be listed here. So I can click on them and associate them all here. And the same thing with pages. So I've got multiple pages, so I can send this out to all 3 of these pages if I want to. And then here's that default wall post. We see that it's been added to each of these. If I want to, I can just throw in some sample text into here, maybe some lorem ipsum text, something like that, into there. And then once I'm done, I also can add in the tiny URL into each of these 2 and publish them out. Okay, so once that has been published, I now can go back over to my public facing pages that are here, and we can refresh this and we'll have our new post. We see it right here. And the same thing with the Facebook page. Oops, let me go back out of here. Default tweet or wall post, which is right here. And so this is only going to show the this part of it. It's not showing the rest of the lorem ipsum comments that are there. But we see that this was published just now. So it has, this is the most recent published. So this is essentially what you're going to be doing with your social media links in here. This is a way to publish out and push this information out to those who are interested and have some kind of stake in the website and the pages being published, so they get notification as those things happen within OU Campus. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to show you, of course, because since we did have YouTube associated on the page as well, is I want to show you how then the YouTube works and the YouTube gadget, which you may not be familiar with. So I'm going to go to this YouTube sample page here, and I just have a 2-column snippet on the page here where I can throw in a couple of videos that I want here. So typically the traditional route for adding in a video into a page is you would go to the insert edit video, and you would put in the address for either the YouTube video, or you go in and you select the video if you have it stored on your system. But with the YouTube gadget and hooked up to the YouTube account, you can click on the little gadget icon here, and then your YouTube gadget is right here. If you do not have the YouTube gadget installed, you would basically go to your add-ons and go to the marketplace. Inside of the marketplace, underneath popular gadgets, select view all. Down at the bottom here, since it is alphabetical, is the YouTube gadget. Yours will probably just say install in blue. Just click on that. That'll install the gadget onto your account, and then you'll click on the gear icon. Make sure to scroll down to the bottom, click the checkbox, and that will automatically add it to your side menu here. And typically it'll add it down at the bottom. I'm keeping it up here at the top because you can rearrange these items. Now with my YouTube gadget here and associated accounts, I can open this up, and you'll see now it's going to link to my OmniUpdate training department. I can then come through here and I can go through my playlist, through my uploads, whatever I want. And then all of my videos that I have are right here as well. Let's open this up a little bit. No, it's not going to expand open, it looks like. So I can take one. So we'll take this video and we'll drop it into here. And it brings up this window so I can add any additional information if I want to and drop it in. And then over here, we'll drop in another video. Same thing. Okay. Oh, my video seems to be slow, like it's stuttering. I will slow it down. I may be talking a little too fast, so I'll slow it down here. Hopefully that will help the situation. All right. I've now added the 2 videos. Click the save and exit. And now we see both videos are now on the page using just the YouTube gadget. So with your YouTube account associated, that YouTube gadget comes in very, very handy when working within OU Campus. All right. One of the other things that we saw in the sample page that I created was this lovely little Twitter feed that is on a page. So if you do want to create a Twitter feed asset that you can drop onto your page, maybe your department has their own Twitter feed. Can you have multiple YouTube channels connected? Yes, you can. And you can have multiple Facebook and Twitter accounts as well. You can have all of those associated with it, as many as you like. All right, great question, by the way. If you missed that, somebody was asking if you can have multiple YouTube channels or Facebook or Twitter accounts to publish to. Yes, you can. You can have as many as you like associated with the with your account that you like. Okay, so as I mentioned, say you have a department that wants to have their Twitter feed published onto their page as well. There's a great tool that Twitter does have available to use. And let's get over to that over here. And dun. Let me bring it up. Oh, there it is. Twitter Publish. It's at publish.twitter.com. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to put in the feed into the account here that you want to actually build a feed out of. So in this case here, under the twitter.com, I'm going to use the OU Campus Training Twitter. So that's going to be twitter.com/OU Campus Training. Once you put in the link for your Twitter account you wish to create a feed for, click on the arrow. This brings you to the next window. And again, just as with Facebook, some of these options may change later. With Twitter, we have no control of that, but this is how it currently works. So hopefully this will stay like this for a while. Click on Embedded Timeline. And then here for customization options, click on this as well. And then you can go ahead and give it a height and width. So we're going to maybe make it 500 pixels high and 300 pixels wide. We'll leave it at a light color. And then for the language, we'll select English for default. And then we'll update. Once you do that, it does create this code right here that you can now copy. So that code is now copied. We'll then go to the assets section of our account, and you're going to want to click on new. This is going to be a source code asset that we are creating. Click on source code, and we'll go ahead and we'll give this a name. We will do, we'll put a bunch of A's here in front so it ends up at the very top. Training Tuesday Twitter feed. Any description you want to add to it, and of course any tags you want to associate it. Then who has access again, you can set this here, and the available to as well as to who can edit. That code that we copied, we are going to paste it into the asset content right here. Now, there is one little minor thing that needs to be edited in this code because of course Twitter does not know how Omni Update and OU Campus works. So there is a little setting called async right here that does not have anything associated with it right now. In some instances, this is not going to be a problem, but in OU Campus, this needs to be defined. So all I need to do to here is just add in equals quote y end quote. That will fix this and keep it from having an error. So if you do paste this in your system, creating an asset, you see an error come up. This is why, just read through there, it will tell you that the async needs to be defined. So we can go ahead and we can create this asset, publish it out. We'll go back over to our pages, and this time we'll select our Twitter asset example page. Click on the main content region. We'll select our assets. And there's our quadruple A Twitter feed. We'll drop it onto the page and save it. So there we go. There's our Twitter feed that we have from that Omni Update Training Twitter feed. So it's that simple to create an asset to do that now. The next step I want to take you through is how to basically turn this same thing into a component. So let's say you have multiple departments that have multiple Twitter feeds, and they don't have to go in and edit this every single time they want to have a different Twitter feed in here. So what we can simply do is go back to our asset and copy all that code again. And this time, we're going to go into components. And we're going to create a new component here. And we'll call this, again, our quadruple A Twitter feed, and create that. And then for the source code, of course, that code that we copied, we're just going to paste it right here, just like this. So the next thing that we want to do basically is to create all the categories or items that we want our content editors to be able to edit within this particular feed. So in order to do that, we know that we're going to need a few items that we want to ask them for. So the first thing we want is we want to be able to give them a title for the feed. So we're going to select the short text, and we're going to call this our feed title. And we'll save that. The next thing we want to do is we want to then add in the link itself. So again, we'll select a short text, and we'll say enter Twitter feed URL, and we'll save that. The next thing we want to do is we want to be able to allow them to adjust the height and width of the Twitter feed. So again, I'm going to take a short text here and put this on. Oops, click it. There we go. This one's going to be our height. Now, what I want to do, though, is I want to make sure that this is just going to be a numbers only, so somebody's not typing in text. So under advanced, I'm going to add a regex expression that's going to say that only numbers are allowed, 0 through 9. And so this means they can only use numbers in this. They can't type in a text. And the error message is going to say numbers only. And save that. All right, and so, excuse me, the next thing that we want to do, oops, I spelled height completely wrong there. Let me go back there. There we go. Let's save that again. And now we'll do the same thing for the width. So I'm just going to make a quick copy of this and edit that. And we'll call this width. And we'll save it. The next thing I want to do is I want to give the option for languages. So for working with maybe multiple languages, we can then add in a drop-down menu here. And I can select this as choose language. And then for my options, the first one is going to be auto. So if I want it to automatically decide, it'll do that. Next would be English. And then Spanish. And then say let's also do French. And save it. Now, there's one other caveat here that I need to mention, that if you notice I typed in the full words, English, Spanish, French, etc. Under the source code, if you notice here for the language itself, it's actually a 2-digit or 2-character representation of the language for English. So when somebody, if I put in just EN and FR, somebody might not know exactly what that means. So I'm using the real language for the choices. But what I can do then is go under advanced. And then when somebody selects auto, it's just going to be 2 quotes because it needed to be empty. For English, it's going to be EN. For Spanish, it's going to be ES. And French will be FR. So when somebody selects French, it's going to put in the FR. Auto is nothing, English, EN, etc. The last option that I want to give them is they do either the light or the dark option for the colors. Okay, so we're going to do theme color, and we either have a light color or a dark color, and we'll just save that. And same thing as before. You can have it lowercase and type it, but I like to keep it uppercase So we're just going to change these to lowercase so it matches exactly what we would have in the code and save it. Now that we have all of the elements created, we just need to place them into the code itself. So we'll go back to our source code here. And so we have our feed title, which is this item right here. So tweets by OU Campus. So I'm going to select right now where it says OU Campus Train and replace that with the feed title. The next is the feed URL, which happens to be right here. So we'll select that and enter our feed URL. Then we have our height. We'll replace that, and then our width. There we go. All right, and then we want to actually change the language. So we have EN here where the language is currently. We'll change that to choose language. And there we go. And did I not have the color set up in here? Oh, I did not add it into here. So I'll add that in next time, but I'll show you how it's done in one of the other ones that's already completed here. So let me save that for now. Once it's done, you would just launch it out and then it would be available to you. Let me go over to the previous one to show you how that color looks. Go to the source code here. All right. And theme color. This is it. I just forgot to add that before. So when you add the theme, it's just called theme equals and then theme color. And you'd be able to then choose the color that you want to use. Now in this particular one, I added in an additional H2 tag that takes the same Twitter, the title feed that I put in here as well. And it's making an H2 tag of that in there. So I'm going to cancel that and we'll go back over to our Training Tuesday feed here. And I'm going to delete the asset and this time put in our component and drop it in. And so this one is prompting me the title for the feed. So this is my Training Tuesday Twitter feed. And then for the link for this again, I'm going to use the same Twitter account as before. So twitter.com/OU Campus Train. How wide do I want this to be? Oops, I don't need a dot here. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't error out. We're going to make this maybe just 300 pixels wide and 600 in height. Language, I'll select it to be English, and then we'll make this a dark color theme instead. We'll save that. It drops it onto here, so we see the blue box that represents where the component is. To be able to see it, we save it, and then it'll render it out. Hopefully here. Oh, looks like it did not render it out for some reason. Very interesting. All right, we'll have to come back to that and see what happened here. Let's go back to my versions here. I think I have this live, which shows that. Yep, there it is. All right, so this is what the live version of that looks like. This is that same Twitter feed. So for some reason, it's not connecting to it right now, but this one is. So this is that dark version of the Twitter feed that we have that I just created. And you can see how easily you can place this onto a page as other kind of a Twitter feed they want, any new headings, and then change the color, look, and feel of it as well. All right. The last item to go over today would be the emergency alerts and how they work. Now, as I mentioned before, the pages that we're publishing out to currently are considered basically private in-house pages. You're not going to give these links to students or anybody else because this is all basically for internal use only. But again, let's say you wanted to have your emergency alerts get pushed out to public-facing Facebook pages or a public-facing Twitter account. What you would do then is you would set up those accounts again in OU Campus as you normally would within the setup menu. And then when you go to your emergency alerts, in here, let's go ahead and we will archive the current alert and get that out of there. Underneath your settings, you have all of the different accounts that are available to you. So here under my Facebook pages, I've got the OU Campus Editor, I've got the TT page, and I got the Training OU Campus, and then the OU Campus Train. So here, maybe the TT Billy's page was the only public-facing page. So I'm gonna turn off the other one, so it's just going to go to that one, or vice versa, however you want to do it. The same thing with the Twitter accounts. Once you've made your changes here in the settings menu, just save it. Then underneath your active alert, we can create a new alert. And so here we can have our emergency alert. And the title is going to be Martians are attacking. And maybe run for cover. Then for our description, we'll have a little description here. We'll pop that in like so. And then you can put in, of course, a URL for more information underneath here. And then lastly, all the pages that were made available to you in the settings are now available to you here for publishing. So if I wanted to, again, select one or more of these, I can do that now by turning them on or off and click publish. Once I've done that, it has been published out now to those pages. So if I go down to my Facebook page and refresh this, I will see the Martians are attacking, and there's the link. And the same thing with my OU Campus and my Twitter account. The Martians are attacking here. All right. So that is essentially working with social media within OU Campus. The floor is, of course, open for any questions you may have. I'm happy to answer them while I'm here with you. Yes, this recording will be shared and will be made available. Also, within the Training Tuesday, I will include the links to anything that I went to page-wise, like the Twitter publication feed. I'll make sure to add that link in there as well, so you can have access to it. You're very welcome, Monique. Thank you.
All right, while people are typing questions, do you want to send up that slide for our next Training Tuesday?
Yes, I'll do that in just 1 second. And yes, the Curator.io is an aggregator. It's a third-party app. I didn't go over that just because it is so wide-ranging, but I did want to mention that. Thanks for bringing that up and reminding me. The Curator.io is basically a third-party site that allows you to select any number of multimedia, social media platforms and create a large feed out of it. So here, for example, I've just selected my Facebook and YouTube and added it here, and then just dropped the item onto the page so that it creates a feed. But yes, Curator.io is an aggregator for doing something like that. Let me switch over to the other page here for this. Oops, too far. There we go. And so for next month's training on July 28th, we're going to be covering the creation of directory variables. So be sure to tune in to that. And again, the floor is still open. So if there are any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. And if not, the floor will be turned over to Barbara, where then she can close this out for the day.
Really, thank you very much. That was very informative. It was great to have you on again.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right, I want to thank everybody for participating here. Again, if you have questions, by all means, throw them into our Q&A. Be sure to join us next month for our Training Tuesday in July. And then as you're wrapping up and leaving the webcast, we invite you to leave your feedback so we can get your impressions and then get any ideas that you might have for future Training Tuesdays. So thank you all very much. Have a very wonderful day.
Thank you, Barbara.
My pleasure.